have changed their first pick and actually would have first picked the GP instead and not taken the Mordekaiser. You know, Mordekaiser into GP and Lulu is kind of ridiculous.
So, Fnatic...
But there she finds herself on the ban list already.
Yeah, Kennen as well for EDG. They banned Elise and then they banned Sivir last time around. Obviously, that is what left Mordekaiser and GP open. And for now, it is exactly the same. Fnatic now do not want to ban one of the two OPs. Oh, now they will, because Mordekaiser got banned. So now GP is what you want to ban away if you are Fnatic. And say, we don't want to risk it. But that does leave Tahm Kench open.
For Fnatic to potentially pick?
Well, for you. I'm not expecting a Tahm Kench first pick.
Last game was Rek'Sai, first pick, when Elise was off the table.
I mean, Fnatic got to make the decision now. Do we have a composition we want to run against the Gangplank? Then we ban the Tahm Kench now. We give them first pick.
I don't think you can. Yeah, I don't think you can give away Gangplank without getting one back.
Been super risky, at least. But again, this is a team that is not afraid of taking chances. Rek'Sai would be the obvious first pick. Tahm Kench, yes, he's fantastic. But it does require a composition where it makes sense to pick him into.
Sound like a bit of a fanboy there, Deficio, of that champion. Fnatic now have the option to pick in two of their preferred. Hyper carries are still up and available, the likes of Jinx. And go over the tower pushing power of Tristana. Cannon away. Sivir's available. Fnatic could go Sivir and VODS.
So are Jinx and Caitlyn, which was also mentioned as being practiced by Deft fairly recently.
If you are Fnatic now, you might say we want to take some safe picks. We don't want to show too much. Then you go for Gragas here for Reyno and say we want to see more of your picks before we start building a composition. Or you take some of the safer top lanes we have seen being blind picked, Darius and Fiora and so on, for Huni up there. But he's shown he wants to play different kinds of top lanes.
And I would like to combo that Gragas with a Thresh if you are trying to try and keep your first round without getting much away. There is the Kenchi. All right, we got the Kench into Flame Chompers combo.
You get your Tahm Kench.
I'm so happy. The only problem is it's like 3 weeks too late. And if I go on one of my Kobe rants on Tahm Kench, then people are just annoyed.
The thing is, I stole your notes anyway, and I already said everything you had prepared.
But everybody wants to hear the Kobe rant, so we'll see how practiced Yellowstar is on this champion, because we've seen him.
He played it before it was cool.
But it wasn't good.
Before it was buffed.
But it wasn't good.
Okay,
it really was not good.
But
they lost that game.
He now had 4 more weeks or 5 weeks to practice even more. I think Jinx Tahm Kench is one of the best combos you can pick, because it gives Jinx that extra mobility in the late game that she needs to survive these team fights. And also in the laning phase, it's very hard to all in on a Jinx when Tahm Kench is next to her. He basically just makes almost every lane a farm lane because he stops that all in from happening. Could be there.
There's the, well, I was looking at the Caitlyn already for the other side here. Picked up by Def. Like we said, he's been practicing it fairly recently. We'll see if they actually end up in that 2 versus 2, because Caitlyn can try and bully them off. Jinx can switch to Rockets, though, and actually trade. So it definitely will be determined by the support pick.
Well, what do we have seen so far from teams when they play against Tahm Kench, because it's so fairly new? They pick some all-in comps, like, oh, we're going to play like an Annie Kalista lane, and we're going to try and all-in the AD carry. Tahm Kench eats in and says, no, that's not going to happen. Caitlyn, on the other hand, is a lane where you're going to push and push and push all the time. I think that's way better against Tahm Kench, because he doesn't offer any sustain for his AD carry outside of Relic Shield. So poke them down, poke them, poke them. Don't all in. That's what Caitlyn offers.
And we're going to see the Riven for Huni. Fembevin will secure Gragas once more for Rainover.
Interesting with the top lane carry here into the Fiora. This is going to be such an interesting skill match between Riven and Fiora. Once again, though, I think there may be a lane swap brewing.
I think there's a good chance we see Morgana as well, and us instantly just locked in here.
This is what we're also talking about. When you have Caitlyn going for that siege, you want to combo it with something in the mid lane that really, really supplements the siege. And Veigar, we've already seen it many times by specifically the North American teams putting in a lot of time on that. But Pawn has been practicing it heavily in solo queue, and EDG will try, group up early, knock down the outer turrets, but also, while they're knocking down the outer turrets, fish for that binding, fish for that cage to try and get that pick. And yes, Tahm Kench can eat somebody out of a binding, but the cage blocks off a huge zone.
Still, Tahm Kench, to me, is a very, very good Veigar counter, due to the fact he can remove that one-shot potential from
volley burst.
However, EDG are not looking necessarily to one-shot someone. They're looking to zone you off your tower and take your tower.
It's about the area that you can control.
You cannot eat the tower. That doesn't work. That doesn't work.
Have you tried?
That was in your notes, Kobe, so I trust you now.
Well, Febiven's got a couple seconds left to lock in his counter. He's had great performances on LeBlanc, and we'll see whether or not he can get some early pressure against Vigar.
Here's the one thing. While I'm a huge Tahm Kench fan, he is not the all-in-one tank. He is not a hard engage tank. So it's actually fairly risky for you to try and engage with Tahm Kench and use the Abyssal Voyage. It's much better at cutting people off and sort of corralling people into a direction to control with the rest of your team.
This is a very mixed composition for Fnatic.
Yeah.
You got the Riven split push coming in, you want to assassinate someone with LeBlanc, and you want to have these big kiting team fights with the Jinx, Tahm Kench. So it's a bit of everything for them. The problem is if they want a 1-3-1, Jinx wave play in the mid lane. Again, she needs to get in there with the rockets. She can't clear really far away from.
Yeah, the thing is, I want to reiterate this one more time. It's a bit of everything except for really hard engage. They would have to have Flash with Riven or some crazy Gragas ultimate, because if Tahm Kench Abyssal Voyage into the back line, he gets stunned with whoever he brings.
And he wants to be in the back with his AD carry.
Exactly. If you put up the cage, you can stun them both. He can't save anyone if he's stunned as well. He has to get his own Merc Shreds. He has to get some sort of QSS or Mikhail's or something to pull that off.
Luckily on the side of Fnatic, they have shown a penchant for engaging at the right time in the right place, and they'll need to keep that up. Guys, this is the remade game 2 of this best of 5. Hashtag EDG win with that Vigar mid, or hashtag FNC win. The Yellow Star will get his hands on the Tahm Kench. Vision and flanking going to be so important for Fnatic. They've done it in the past when Huni has played Riven. They've shown they have an ability to get him to TP into the jungle and hop over walls. And they may need to do that again to get behind that baby cage that Vigar can put down.
Yeah, the early game is so key in this matchup. When you have a siege composition, if they do well in the laning phase and get to rotate the AD carry into mid and start this siege on your tower, there's often very few answers other than like a TP flank happening. If that fails, you fall so far behind. But the same can be said for EDG here with their comp. If they start losing lanes to Riven and LeBlanc, the crazy pick potential for Fnatic can just run over them.
And this is the thing, Jinx can take a turret very quickly, so Fnatic can trade objectives fairly efficiently as well. Face checking here.
This is
risky.
risky.
Deep wards they've been seeing coming in.
And Fnatic did a similar thing in the previous game. EDG have adapted.
They're gonna get Reckless and Yellow Star.
Oh, it's got to pay off.
Tremor Sense is showing 2 members of Fnatic nearby. EDG very patient.
They saw the ping on 2 guys with the Rek'Sai, so they know it's not 5 members running from Fnatic, but EDG is still
A brush with death there.
not gonna pull the trigger.
And they escape.
Fnatic get
Maybe they
deep
I don't
wards
know.
down. They know the wards are in place, so EDG,
I want to shout out to my boy Freak.
are they going to look for the lane swap, or will they use the warding information to dance around the
Okay,
vision?
so basically, yeah, as you just said here, they want to dance around where the wards are being placed. It's often the same ward placement you see when these invades happen. 3 of them down to block every entrance towards the lane, so Fnatic didn't spot them. Sneak up there, but so it's going to be a 2v2 top. Huni gets his one-on-one down bottom lane as well, so we have these insanely snowballing matchups between a Fiora and a Riven, where the first gank can basically decide the entire early to mid game between these 2 guys.
Meanwhile, look at this huge advantage here. Tahm Kench absolutely annihilates Krugs there with the giant AoE, and they're going to be a camp up. Caitlyn likes to start shoving the wave though, so Def tried to get there as soon as possible, auto-attacking the wave. You charge up your headshot every time, obviously your headshot is charged up. Look for your harass trade. Mako lands the first binding, but Yellow Star says, nope.
We're going to see that a lot, I feel.
Yes. Def and Mako are more looking just to poke with the double range against them than all-inning. What you normally could do with Caitlyn Morgana is you land the binding, follow up with a trap, and someone is stuck for such a long time. Another small thing, notice here Reignover, he started on top side of the map, so he's going to path down towards the bottom side. That's going to apply pressure on Koro if he's going to push his lane.
Yep, it's all about that minion wave control up top. When you have control as a Caitlyn lane, especially with Morgana at your back, you can be extremely aggressive, just like Huni.
Really bad trade by Koro right here. He walks in into stun range of Huni, then uses his block basically for nothing. It's an instant ability obviously for Huni with the stun. You have to be super quick on a Fiora.
Exactly.
Close to impossible for him to pull off here, and he really failed it big time.
Koro's backed, picked up some wards and a pot. Is now under CS from Huni, but the wave is pushing towards Koro, so Huni going to be needing to overextend. But luckily, ClearLove is on the complete opposite end of the map.
Yeah, even though that trade evens up teleports, Huni's got such an experience advantage here working with it. He will also probably be able to go up and clear out that pink ward that Koro placed in the tri-bush. So that while the giant wave is there, so that would be some extra value added. Pretty deep ward here on the Wraith camp as well. ClearLove was able to get a little bit of deep vision over on Reignover's side, and that will be the next camp that Reignover goes to. So EDG will have information on Reignover's whereabouts fairly shortly.
Well, we get a good start for Huni in the bottom lane. Top, again, is what we mentioned, how you can keep pushing it in. If you are the Caitlyn Morgana lane, just keep trading. 2v1 against both Tahm Kench and then the Jinx, and it's hard then to reply if you are Fnatic. And really also with this Morgana pick, it's funny because a lot of these champions for EDG that haven't shown before in this tournament, they have been spamming them in solo queue. Morgana was there for Mako, Caitlyn for Death, Veigar as well in the mid lane, and this is gonna happen over and over. And Rek is a little bit confused.
Small miss, small miss. Aim small, miss small. We'll see if Reckless can find his aim later on. Reignover spotting ClearLove in the jungle will give some information. Huni actually gets caught up by that riposte.
Another matchup I want to touch on is that mid lane because Veigar is such a game changer. If you allow him to stack up early, and the only way to disallow him from stacking up early is to force him to trade in lane and go for those aggressive moves here. Forbidden on LeBlanc, on the Assassin, has the ability to do that and try and go aggressive. But you can see already, Pawn even expends his early teleport in mid lane defensively just to pick up more magic resistance so that he can try and use more of his mana for stacking up the ability power.
Reckless is playing Let's Catch the Dark Binding game. Almost every time we peek our eyes up here, Reckless is being saved by Yellow Star. That mana pool slowly burning away. And of course, Reckless losing out on CS. Huni is now once again going aggressive. Trying to use those broken wings to his advantage. And Koro sidesteps the second. Proc does not sidestep the third. The shield comes up from Huni, and the key strike will at least delay the rest of that trade.
Fnatic needs to do something about the top lane, though. Even though they're not dying, they're down in CS, and their tower is already taking about 40% damage up there, because, again, if you keep pushing it down, Huni's trying his best on the bottom side, but ClearLove is showing now.
Yeah, you say that, though, but as a jungler, it's really difficult to gank a heavy poking lane that's got your lane under turret because of the minion advantage and because of the distance that you have to gain. Meanwhile, when solo laners trade like this, there's blood in the water. Junglers are like sharks.
Sure.
You're attracted very heavily by melee champions in long solo lanes trading like this.
And I don't think Fnatic necessarily had to go top to make a play. I think they need to make a play elsewhere on the map to force EDG's hand and say, we are now winning on the other side, so if you keep this 2v2 lane going for too long, our top laner will snowball ahead of yours, and that can force EDG then to make a trade and swap it around and stop this push from going on.
ClearLove's Tremor Sense just caught some footsteps from Reignover as he approached that tri-bush. So information is available. You can see Febiven's also left his lane. If Koro sticks around, they're going for a dive.
And this is what I like. Now Fnatic are saying, we're going to snowball Huni even further. So EDG, you cannot just sit in 2v2 top because your top lane will fall behind. ClearLove has spotted it. We have a roam from Veigar as well. 3 guys on bottom side soon.
Koro, he does have his grand challenge. He's used it on a level 4 Reignover. Flash away from Koro keeps him alive. And Huni will take a turret shot for his troubles. ClearLove able to thwart the gank at the cost of Ignite for Flash and time in the mid lane from Febiven.
Yeah, and now Huni here is actually going to have to back off. He's got 3 people there. Even though that was an unsuccessful gank as far as coming up with a kill, Koro's going to have to expend his teleport once again. So you talk about, doing something about this top side. There's a deep ward here in the brush. Huni may have teleport advantage if Koro feels pressured enough to use it to get back to lane again. And the way the Fnatic made their stamp, made their name with big Huni teleport plays, there could be an opportunity. The ward is expired.
Just died.
I took too long talking about it, and Koro took too long teleporting back.
The point is still valid.
Really key though
if they could get another ward.
For EDG, that Rek'Sai was sitting in that bush or in the jungle of Fnatic, spotted, of course, Reignover moving down, so they knew, okay, the dive is about to happen. LeBlanc goes missing in the mid lane, and that's why they could react and defend Koro. Otherwise, it would have been a 3v1, and he would have died super quick.
I have to say, though, this top lane CS of the duo lanes is just outstanding. Deft is destroying Reckless and Yellow Star up in the top side. Really punishing.
And this was why EDG was sitting in the bush, hiding at level 1. Didn't want to risk going for an all-lane and try and get it first, but they wanted to dodge around the wards to try and force a 2v2 lane with Caitlyn. She's one of these champions, if she doesn't get the 2v2, it gets to be bullied. She becomes so useless in the mid game and just have very low impact before she hits the late game items. So this was exactly what EDG wanted for that lane.
And EDG seem quite happy to play for the long game. Pawn's first pickup is Mercury Treads at 9 minutes. He's held on to his TP, but Rainover, he's found Mako. Mako, this is brave. Abyssal Voyage will allow Yellowstar to get in range of Mako. Will they flash over? No. Happy to get the flash out of Morgana.
Okay, so while EDG are winning the duo lane, Fnatic are destroying the solo lane on the other side of the map, the long lane with Huni here. And that is extremely volatile because Riven has so much kill pressure. I would expect, again, more jungler attention down there because if you can free up that solo laner, then you free up a teleport gank. A jungler ganking is one thing, but if that solo laner ganking with a teleport can completely turn around and destroy a 2 versus 2 lane.
It's basically been the reason their aggressive 2v2 lanes have kind of died out, because if you do go all in, enemy top laner comes in from behind and kills you, and it suddenly backfires completely because of all the teleports in the game. There's a lot of the very aggressive AD carries that are a little bit unhappy with that state because they want to be able to kill that lane 2v2, but that's not happening very often in this meta.
Fnatic right now setting up towards this bottom lane. Again, Feathervin and Rainover showing face. Huni's got a minion wave to play with, and I think they're going to turn their attention onto Koro. He's going to be in a little bit of trouble. Grand Challenge comes down, Body Slam connects. Koro will get dropped, and it's first blood to Fnatic. But Pawn will teleport in and get himself one back. Huni's on the way out. Will have that broken wing slash to get more. Huni does get dropped by Clearlove. It's a messy fight so far. 2 for 2, and it's jungler on mid lane action. Feathervin gets a triple kill. And gets out.
Again, Fnatic, they return to the point of power, try and make the proactive play there. And again, Huni's teleports up. Look, a deep ward in the side brush. Huni revives in 10 seconds. He could teleport right up there and try and turn that around. There's no flash on Morgana because they caught her out in the jungle.
And again, this is exactly what Fnatic wants to do. When you have a losing lane one side of the map, you gotta make plays on the other side. You can't gank the one. They go for Koro, 3 guys moving down. EDG once again, they read the situation, but they're reacting a lot later because they didn't see Fnatic as early as they did before with the first dive. Feathervin plays one really well. He knows he can take down Clearlove in the end, so stays very close and almost baits him to just stay and fight him.
Man,
solo
away the
laner
last
for
auto.
jungler, that's not fair.
Managed to make it work. Feathervin completes his Sorcerer Shoes and Morella Nomicon. 30 CS advantage for Huni and a level advantage, but no teleport top just yet.
Really deep wards here as well by Fabivin. This one on the red. It's one of the great things about Tahm Kench as well. My first experience with them was meeting one in solo queue and double counter jungling the enemy. Tahm Kench can devour something while activating his Q. Oh, here we go for another move.
Maybe just a farm and defend tower.
Do they have a Huni teleport? There's so many wards for Huni to teleport on. And he shoved him in. Looks like they're going to dive first.
Seems to me like Huni doesn't want to waste time.
They're going to dive bottom again first.
He's going for Koro. He's in trouble. The chain. Wow.
Okay, now he's free to go up top.
Okay, 3 times now. When is he going top, Kobe?
I don't know. My stories have all fallen flat so far today. I'm not
To be fair, if you are Huni and Fnatic, do you want to go and try and save a losing lane already?
Yeah,
or do you want to just keep killing your lane opponent?
They're going to get dove right now.
Well, they can just back away, give up this tower. Obviously, EDG is looking to swap Def now down to this bottom side and push another one. But that's where Fnatic are looking out to create picks with the Rivet, with the LeBlanc. We see how much they're roaming between the lanes. And every time EDG is stuck pushing away with both Morgana and Caitlyn, someone else on the map is dying. So far, it's been Koro.
Yeah. Little misstep from Pawn as he misses 2 of the 4.
So in the end, the real difference there is just the kills that our Fnatic are picking up here, because they were able to get that turret on top for EDG. It's just that, Huni's actually going to get the one down bottom and continue to push here. They also have such deep wards in the red side jungle to support Huni's split push.
That could be key, Kobe, because Huni, once he goes top side now, can TP down, because we know Deft is going to push this wave. He's already pinged the tower.
So when you say it, it's going to happen.
I say it this time.
So many wards always has to be right. Febiven's looking to clear this pink ward out, and Clearlove is just like, peace, nope, do not want none of that. When he grabs a Scuttle Crab, a little bit of vision, and Reckless and Yellow Star uncontested. This is a free tower, in fact, as EDG have sent their resources down bottom.
Not exactly what EDG were looking for here. They wanted to have Koro on his top side already, but obviously him alone wouldn't have done a whole lot.
Yeah, it's another trade they're just opting for. Bottom side should be taken at the same time as well here for EDG.
But when you play that Caitlyn, you are supposed to get the tower advantage by you being able to push faster than they, or push in the enemy AD carry and slowly take down the tower. Obviously, Jinx will take down the tower super quick once she gets to it.
Yeah, but they're not done pushing. EDG continue to pressure the inner turret. There are recalls from Fnatic.
Yellowstar can ult it down, remember.
And Huni's got teleport with a lot of wards to jump in. But they're opting not to pull that trigger yet. The range on Abyssal is still relatively low, and I think Yellowstar's peeling towards the middle top quadrant, so no more pressure on the bottom half of that.
EDG did get the 2 side lane turrets down. That's what you want to do with these siege comps here, especially when you play the Veigar. You want him to hit level 11, you group together with him in the mid lane, and you start sieging on that tower, because even if there is some sort of wave clear for Fnatic, that massive zone that Veigar is going to offer is going to force you back, and that's going to always give some damage to this tower. So Fever needs to be careful now. He knows a lot of people are coming, and he's the only wave in his mid lane. He has to dash into them. That's super risky.
Yeah, that's why we'll be looking for the flank, because again, this Fnatic squad has to be very careful with how they go about engaging. Huni needs to work with the fog of war. Riven is all about the flashy plays, you know, coming in very quickly with the dash. So once Huni's flash comes back up, then maybe they'll look for one of those plays.
At least you need to have teleport ready, and when you know the siege is going to start happening, you need to have put wards in advance. So you have wards on the side of the mid lane. You can see the 2 here near the mid lane tower of EDG. That's something Fnatic could use to stop a potential siege from happening. And Huni, all in again, he's 2 levels above.
Yeah, big difference. That Bee of Sword helping out. Koro, I think, got a pretty good riposte there, but it doesn't matter. Huni's got such a strong advantage. Just hit a 3-level lead for the time being, and as my math is completely horrible, it's 50, 60 CS advantage for Huni. And Reckless is even caught up in the bottom lane.
All right, well, let's see if he plays a bit more safe here. Definitely into his third. He should be fine. The other thing, the other important factor in controlling vision, Deficio, that you point out, these mid laners, either one could one-shot the other if you're in the fog of war. So either one has the ability to 100% if you get that vision advantage. So there's going to be such a fight over the true sight, especially around these mid.
And a fight in top again.
Kora's going low. Huni, that's a good pass trading. And Huni follows up. But their support, Clearlove and Pawn, want to chase him down, and they will not.
A little bit hyped about the flash. In the end, it didn't do anything, and it died anyway. Look good though.
Deficio, you sucked all the energy out. Yellowstar and Febiven get caught by the Event Horizon, and Pawn gets knocked into the waiting hands. The Super Mega Death Rocket signs his death warrant, and EDG are on the retreat. They've lost 2. They're mid-tower, and Fnatic are sieging the inner turret. It's not over yet. Teleport's coming in. Koro wants to play. The exhaust onto Febiven will keep his damage down and keep Deft alive, and keep their tower alive for Boots.
So what's been happening in this mid lane here for Fnatic is that Febiven had full control of the lane. He keeps pushing it down, making it very easy for Fnatic to keep deep vision in the jungle and set up a dive like this and prevent EDG from ever grouping.
Honestly, what's happening is Huni wrecking Koro.
That's also happening. That's also happening. But look at the dive they can set up because they have all the control of this jungle onto. Beautiful setup, honestly, from Rainover.
Yeah.
What do you do as a Veigar right here? Either you flash instantly, but it's a flash body slam happening. It's so hard to react to in time.
Yeah.
Exhausted, and I don't think that Primordial Burst hit anybody either. So
Make it a body slam flash.
3,000 gold in the lead. They've got all outer turrets down. Dragon's going to be up in 30 seconds. And look at that ring of deep vision behind the Dragon.
Yeah, again, that's the problem now for EDG. They know these wards are going to be there because they've been pushed down in this mid lane for such a long time. Huni can now TP in behind them if Fnatic wants to fight for this one. He's TPing in now.
And he's TPing north.
Finally!
EDG are trying to retreat. Huni wants to cut them off.
Be careful.
He's not very tanky. He does not want to be here. Grand Challenge is onto Huni, and Deft actually gets knocked towards him. Huni's going to use those broken wings to get away, and he gets eaten. Yellowstar saves him. Another kill for Featherfin before Huni gets dropped by Koro. Reignover's trying to get out, but he's trapped in the baby cage, and Pawn sends him back to base. Well, Featherfin is dominating with another kill on Koro.
Yeah, Star saved Huni, but then kept chasing Koro and spit Huni back out with like 50 life. So he died. But that'll be a two for two right there. All said and done, though, Fnatic still have control of the map. So even though it's a 2 for 2, even on kills, they get the objective afterwards. They shove the lane. Oh, actually, Reckless actually not going to start the Dragon there. Red Steel instead. Bit more risky.
Or
and
not.
now the Dragon's going to be very late, and Pawn does have teleport. Pawn's actually in lane already.
Deft actually manages to secure that one. Fnatic now a little maybe late to the Dragon. Ultimate's not available for everybody, but EDG are not in range to contest.
There's double ping walls from Fnatic, so it's hard for EDG to walk in and face check a fairly fit LeBlanc at this point. I mean, 6 kills in 19 minutes. It's very standard for me, at least in solo queue. What we do see from
Fnatic
Fnatic,
special.
Oh, stay hungry, stay humble, my friend. Yellow Star is going to prevent the ace in the hole by just devouring Featherfin.
Why block it when you can eat it?
And Deft will knock over the tower using that range of Caitlyn.
yeah, and this time around, no TP for Fnatic to stop the siege, but this is how you play against these siege compositions when you know it's going to happen. You need those wards beforehand, like Fnatic here. Huni goes in a little bit early, and because there's no hard engage for Fnatic, it's very difficult for him, and he does get saved at first.
Let's watch what actually. He spits him back out with a 50 HP. Yellow Star. Thanks for the save.
Didn't even have time to shield right.
Shame.
Whoa, LeBlanc,
No.
LeBlanc killed Caitlyn. Talking about Fabib, he's got 7 now.
So, ouch. Deft 0.
Now it's fed.
Tell us, Deficio, what exactly happened there. Give us the QW.
I think there was some QW, maybe
QWR
some
dead.
R in there.
Wow, Reignover's gonna find clear love. Defensive flash. Huni actually popped that ultimate. Didn't manage to follow through because Maiko found the Dark Binding. And Fnatic are now just playing really free and loose. They've got the freedom, they're far enough ahead, and there's not a lot of resistance that can come up yet.
And I think with the momentum they have, with the amount of control that they've just gotten, this huge lead that Fnatic are building, they need to fortify that. They need to start getting up that vision now. Because if they close the loop on the vision and they black out the map here for EDG, then there's just almost no move for EDG. They have to just... he burns to death. They have to just group up. EDG, this is a team that has to group up and try and use the poking, try and use the bindings and cage to land.
And it's supposed to be fairly safe to get the outer turrets down. You know, you can have pink wards in the river yourself to try and avoid some of these deep wards that can flank you. Going for the tier 2 turrets becomes even harder now for EDG because they don't have the map control, because they are pretty far behind in gold. So they might rely more on Fnatic, misplaying a pick here, like Fibman goes too aggressive and dives on the tower and dies, and then EDG starts moving up towards the tier 2 towers.
Well, it's about 1 minute and 10 seconds before Huni's teleport is available, and the deep wards will need to be reset before Fnatic can look for a similar play.
This is often where we see teams lose their big leads, when you have a team comp similar to this. What Fnatic need to do, all they have to do is keep EDG bottled up for long enough. They already have dragon stacking. They have 2 dragons already. Control the neutral objectives, and you continue to draw EDG out. Continue to make these picks. Continue to get the LeBlanc 100% to 0. Continue to get Huni isolated with Koro.
4-level difference between Koro and Huni right now, and nearly 100 CS. I believe that's called the Flame Horizon, if memory serves.
Yes, yes, sir. Now, one of the things amazing Jay, the poor guy, was criticized for a lot, was dying like this against the enemy top laner. But funny enough, it's the same kind of setup, where the other team is sending 2, 3, 4 guys to dive him and kill him and shut him down, because top lane gets out of control very, very easily. We see here, EDG tried to defend Koro, but they were always a step behind, and therefore it's the same result. Top laner falls super far behind.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a which one came first, because he is also the reason Fnatic are sending people to dive him is because he's losing trades to Huni in lane, and Huni's pushing him under turret and prepping him to get destroyed.
What Fnatic also wants to do now, though, is prepping that Baron Because as a poke comp, if you have to face check in towards the Baron, you really hate it. Yellowstar, he's eating Zilla.
He is, but his Grey health is being burned through. The barrel pulls Maiko backwards, and a big AoE. Maiko's been tagged, and a quiet taste will not even be needed. Get excited with Reckless, and Feathervin cleans up. Fnatic find 3 and in a turret, and they can even go for Baron.
Fnatic just stayed around the Baron, then walked into the jungle, and EDG is trying to get control back. But when there's so many things that can just kill you so easily, and so much mobility on the side of Fnatic with Riven, LeBlanc, and even the Tahm Kench can just walk in and eat you and spit you back. It is so difficult to regain that control. You were a siege comp. You were supposed to get a big tower advantage, and you got nothing.
All right, we'll take another look at it. You catch the Kench. He's got 2 health bars here. So Grey health goes up, and teleports come down. Pawn actually uses everything on the outside here. Forbidden just walks around, and all of Fnatic teleport in. They continue the pain train and crush EDG under the turret and take it afterwards as well. All right, now we have a minute.
What a game from Fnatic. They've got Baron now. Every single one of their lanes is winning, despite the trouble that Reckless and Yellowstar had early. They were able to put pressure on the side lanes, and they've got him relevant.
Well, if you have a losing 2v2 lane, Morgana Caitlyn, pretty hard to gank. Why not just go down and kill the Fiora over and over? You have Riven.
Well, when you put it that way.
I mean, come on, that's how the game is, right? You just go kill someone.
Split pushing with Baron buff taking effect here. Huge 10,000 almost gold lead here for Fnatic.
So, we have seen 3 new picks from Deft today. And I just have to say, the Jace, I didn't see anything I liked. He did nothing in that game. The Mordekaiser, his dragon control was terrible. I'll give him 1 out of 10 for that one as well.
Harsh.
So far, the Caitlyn, he did his job on the Caitlyn, to be fair. He pushed in the wave over and over, he got the tower.
So the champion you were the most excited about in terms of his solo queue prep this week is the one you're giving the highest ratings? Out of 10, what do we think?
I mean, he couldn't really do much else right, but he gets a 5 out of 10 for that one.
Okay, 5 out of 10 for
He gets
Caitlyn.
5 out of 10?
He took
Now,
2 towers down, his team is losing.
Huni has still got that 4-level advantage and pushing the bottom lane, gentlemen, while the rest of Fnatic are pushing the middle lane. I'd like to get the scoreboard here for Huni in a moment as Koro's got some help from ClearLab, but Feathervin's joined the fight. He's taken down the tower and is looking to kill Koro once more. The rest of Fnatic are going to focus down the inhibitor as Rainover gets caught out by a Dark Binding. Not going to be enough as the Wind Slash hits pretty high health targets. Not going to secure the kill. Reckless has got the tower in the mid lane. Inhibitor falls bottom. The base is breaking and there's nothing EDG can do. One hit forces Deft to retreat. The Event Horizon comes down, and the Christmas presents look to be Fnatic's, as they are going to take a second inhibitor and get themselves out unscathed.
It's all due to the Tahm Kench. Wasn't that right, Coco?
Actually, it's all due to Riven. I said every time we see Riven in the game.
So,
if that champion is in the game, go gank her.
Hey.
She's going to snowball one way or the other.
Huni had an okay start to the game, sure. But Feathervin, to me, really is the standout guy. First game as well, he had such a good performance. This one, he's roaming from the mid lane, he's pushing it down 24/7, walks down bottom lane, he's part of every single kill basically Fnatic. He's getting except for 2 kills I just noticed, but he's been part of almost everything else. And this guy is on fire this tournament. I would even say he's been the best performing mid laner in this tournament alone. Not saying he's the best in the world, but in this tournament he's been looking fantastic.
Don't step on my territory there, Deficio.
Do you want to say
work at the moment? And as you mentioned, allowing Fnatic to continue pressing their advantage. Baron has worn off, and Fnatic are just grouping in the top lane. It is just a matter of time before they get to their 3rd and final inhibitor. There's been no reservation, no hesitation, no signs of weakness for Fnatic this game.
Double pink.
There's a sign of weakness.
Yep, there we go, a little mistake. Just wanted to test the strength of that baby cage. Feathervin's going to eat the Primordial Burst and lose a major chunk of his hit points. But he does stay alive. Huni's going to pull enough threat to buy some time. The rest of Fnatic to at least look to take this tower down in what is still a 4 versus 5.
Yeah, I mean, Feathervin's not running teleport on LeBlanc, so Fnatic going to take it fairly slow and easy here. 4 versus 5.
Oh, wow. Yellow Star even pulls him out of the stun.
Just look at how Yellow Star's standing here. Whenever Reckless goes in to hit the tower, Yellow Star's just slightly behind him. So when the stun lands, it's only on Reckless, and then he eats him, spits him out.
And what did I even say? He's got a Quicksilver Sash on Tahm Kench as well. So even if you land the double cage, Yellow Star can still get himself out and save whoever's next to him.
Well, we'll find out if Tahm Kench manages to make it through the rest of picks and bans. Def gets caught out. The Event Horizon will not be enough to kill Rainover, and Def is running away. A 3-man stun. Hooney's not able to push EDG back. The tower falls, so does Koro. Inhibitor number 3 is down. Fnatic have super minions looking towards the Nexus turrets, and they will drop the Nexus turrets. Fnatic rebound after a difficult start, and they will crush Edward Gaming. Nexus turret is a matter of time as Fnatic take the lead 2-0 and are 1 game away from a semi-final and a top 4 minimum at Worlds.
So EDG showed a new strategy trying to run a siege composition. I would like to hear the analyst desk talk, especially Spawn, about this one, because I remember when EDG came into MSI, we were watching some of their games, and when they tried to run like siege comps, it often didn't work for them at all. They never really had enough control on the map and would just get killed and get into big team fights. They tried to do it now. Obviously, we're talking 4 or 5 months later. Same result though, mainly due to the fact that Fnatic would snowball that bottom lane so effectively, setting up Hooney to jump in and flank, and then Fibin to just kill everyone.